it's interesting to listen to someone like him and then listen to XXXTentacion,
Yeah.
which I mean, totally different vibes in these albums. So this is XXX. I'm just gonna call him X, right?
Yeah. People call him X. Yeah.
X. So this is X's second album after he
Correct.
dropped 17 last year, which we reviewed. Go to YouTube and check out our breakout for that. If you're an XX or if you're an X fan coming here and you want to go hate on Dave, he ripped the album apart. Spoiler alert. So
it was bad, dog.
so what's question mark any better for you?
Short answer, yes, is better. I think it's pretty obviously better. 17 was a whopping like 22 minutes, and this one is like what 40 minutes or something. But
I think it's like 33.
Yeah, but
like
it's got a lot of tracks. But similar theme is they're all a minute and 40 seconds to 2.5 minutes. There's only two songs over 3 minutes long on the whole record. And what stood out to me was the mix is a lot better. Some of the songs just sounded like shit on 17, but X is such an interesting guy, just because he's so fucking popular and so famous, despite like kind of his like come up. He first bust on the scene with his song "Look at Me," which has since gone platinum. But that was the song, that was the flow that Drake ripped off on the song on More Life with Gigs.
Right.
KMT, right? And that's where that whole beef started, right? And since then, X is incredibly popular with young like Gen Z kids. I'm sure some are watching right now, and they really love this dude. And that's despite the fact that he's currently on house arrest for some pretty gross domestic violence charges. Now, I mean, I and many people were judging him hard last year when he was pretty unremorseful about the way he was going about his business. I mean, I know DJ Booth even refused to even review 17, just because we're not going to support that. But he was an XXL freshman last year, and there was a lot of violence at his shows and stuff. But since then,
he got knocked out on stage, right?
Yeah, that was where his beef with Rob Stone happened, because Rob Stone basically was like, nah, I ain't fucking with this shit. I'm just going to have someone knock you out. And so you go to Rob Stone videos now and you'll see mad thumbs down because all the X fans are coming to hate in the comments, right? But yeah, anyway, since then, since he has been arrested and gotten more eyeballs on him, he's trying to turn his life around. I got to give him credit. I mean, he partnered with the Miami Children's Institute, and he's been talking to kids and stuff.
He made a pretty big donation to domestic violence too.
Right.
So
you got to give him credit for that. Mm-hmm. Now, the message he has on his music is still, I think, pretty half-baked, pretty fake deep. He's all like, open your mind, third eye. Right. Like, it's like, all right, guy, like, you're not as deep as you think you are. Maybe you'll get there, but it's not that there yet. Right. So I'm kind of annoyed that like all these little kids like worship the dude, because it's not like he's telling them anything. But that being said, his music's all over the place. Emo-y, some trapping, some cloud rap. What'd you think? Because there's a lot of genres on question mark.
Yeah, I mean, it jumps from like folky acoustic to jazz to like new metal at times. It's kind of crazy. Sure. When I was listening to this, I just thought that this is like his pure id, basically. Like, he makes albums the way that if you didn't have anything to control you, you would just like throw the stuff out, which is probably why he connects so well with teenagers, is he's complete emotion. Sure. Now, how deep that emotion goes, like you said, is questionable, and a lot of the songs I wasn't really moved by any of them, or didn't find
it's like an unfinished idea that he just he mixed and put on the album anyway.
But it's interesting to think about someone like Yachty and then someone like XX or X, because Yachty, like we talked about last week, he was the king of the teens, and then he turned 20 and he finds his new identity, and basically it's like, I'm rich, you're not. X is just like, this is everything I feel. I'm just going to throw it out there and see what sticks. And I respect that more, because he's at least trying to convey a feeling or express a feeling or an idea, especially like a song like Schizophrenia, where he talks about like mental health and his struggle with it. It's at least like talking about something, unlike Yachty. Mm-hmm. So I give him some credit for that. Did all of it land? No. I think if I had to look at the songs that stood out, maybe like Sad, Numb, and Schizophrenia seemed to be like the three that stood out to me.
Yeah, Sad was a lead single, and that immediately blew up as soon as he put it out. I think that one's going to be really popular.
But yeah, I mean, it was like almost jarring at times, like how it would go from so soft to like craziness. Is this? Do you think this is an artist that's going to have like a real long term appeal, or is he like a flash in the pan? His fans are rabid.
That's the thing. He also does fucking numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Like we talked about how Yachty has had some modest sales totals, right?
Yeah.
Despite being incredibly famous.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking X, I mean, 17 did 88,000 first week and then stayed top 5 for a while. Him and Uzi were competing at that time. And then what do you call it? Question Mark's projected to go 125 this week. That's like on par with Bobby Tarantino too. You know, I mean, he's doing numbers. So I think these Loyals fans, they're going to be with him for a while at least, because he's one of the most famous and most popular of the SoundCloud era.
Yeah,
like it or not.
He gets some good people to work with him too. I mean, Joey Badass, Travis Parker, PNB Rock was on this as well. So it's not like people are shying away from him because of, well, actually, at least those artists aren't shying away from him.
Yeah.
I can't speak about other people due to his controversy.
I remember, Kendrick tweeted out when 17 came out, and The Weeknd tweeted a question mark the other day. You know, he's got some cosigns, even if Drake is not one of them.
Yeah,
and I think he's connecting with the young kids, and I mean, hopefully he can hone his pen game a little bit. But you know, he's going to be around. So you know, I think this album is, even for your morbid curiosity, jump in a little bit because the songs are short. Just understand what the hype is about.
Yeah, and it's interesting because we had that discussion about Valet last week and how his songs were short. It seems like that's the direction most of these people are moving towards. But definitely an intriguing figure publicly and musically that we'll be talking about for a while.